Yeah, hey, what's up, people? It's me again, and I want to talk to my black people about a little bit about economics in this country. Before this job market goes, I keep telling y'all, black people, we have been replaced. We have been replaced with immigrants. Don't you know? I was working in Arizona for a minute. I lived in Arizona. I lived in Arizona for 6 years, and I worked for a landscaping company out there. And I found out that they was contracting, work visas. They was contracting Mexicans from Mexico, and they'll come over here and work for a couple of months and leave. And go back home, send all their money back home. Their money don't go back into the economy. So I found that out. I was like, wow. You know, there's a lot of black people over there just down the street. And this job, this landscaping company was right down the street from a black community. And these are Americans. But, you know, black people is not considered Americans, you know, because of the racist policies and the way, you know, this country just is. They racist. So it's like they would rather give foreigners temporary work visas to come over here and work instead of giving a black person a job. You know, and it goes hand in hand with the Department of Justice because, okay, the reason why I say that is this. For years, we know that the justice system has been, you know what I'm saying, is flawed. It needs to be corrected. So we already know that they make mistakes, and they've been making mistakes, blatant mistakes, obvious mistakes, on purpose mistakes when it comes to the law, and you know, the law in this country and black people. It's like time and time again, years and years later, even after death, even after people done sat in jail for years, in prison for years, fighting a case that, you know, been in jail for something that they didn't commit. Then years later, they've been exonerated. You know, this is the normal practice, and we always get demonized we get demonized in the media for this. So when I tell you black people, you know what I'm saying, that we've been economic replaced, believe me when I tell you this. Just take, you know what I'm saying, we get arrested for some bullshit, and you know it's wrong. They know it's wrong. Everybody know the police out here full of shit. So, but they'll arrest us and we'll go to court. The judge will railroad us. You know, I had a case where I sat in the county jail, one county jail for 11 months. They have no evidence on me. They gave you a public defender who won't defend you. That's blatant. Or what they call that in law? What's the term I'm looking for? But it's a term where, you know, it's malpractice. Yes, it's a malpractice. It's malpractice. It's blatant malpractice. And each public defender they give you won't defend your case. And I had to go in those books and look at it myself, and found out that the state has no evidence to hold me here, but they held me in there to weaken my resolve and force me to, have me there for 11 months, and then forced me to take probation to get out. So I had to sign over my rights. And that's what they want you to do, black people. See, this is a practice out here in this country. It's called extortion and racketeering. And it's the same thing that they convicted the mob for, and they demonized the mob for, and the Italian mafia for. And most of these, it's been famous. They even made movies about the shit. So, but this is what our country is doing to black people, extorting us. It's called racketeering and extortion. The police will pull a fake case on you, and send you to jail. They give you a lawyer that's not going to defend you, and that's going to make you sign over your rights. That's all he's there for, to make sure you sign over your rights. Once you sign over your rights, black people, you can't defend yourself no more. You know what I'm saying? You can't own a gun. You can't get a job. You can't live in places won't rent to you. You know, you just, a non-person in this country now. you're demonized and you're looked at as nothing. You've been disenfranchised, and I don't understand something. This country said they're not racist, but how can you still convict me for my past and your past when we can't convict you for yours? And you still practice yours. You still practice racism. You still practice slavery, but it's in a different. It's called modern slavery. It's these warehouses, these prisons, racketeering, extortion, and that's what that is: extortion. The Department of Justice has been extorting black people for years in this country. They have a law system that demonizes black people. We see this right now with the protest, all the protesters across the country. We see that the massacres, the lynchings, the Jim Crow policies, all of that has been implemented and has been practicing. They've been actually practicing this for years, and this is what you see in this country now. All the failed policies that you're seeing now in Washington, that's from years of them circumventing the Constitution to violate our natural human rights. And that's what you see now. So, they bring foreigners over here to give them work visas, where you won't give a black person a job over here, but you'll contract somebody that's not even a citizen of this country. You give them jobs, you give them loans, you give them where they can start business. That's a leg up. You're giving them a leg up, and you're giving them a head start, where our communities, black communities, are still in poverty. Just like here in Nevada, the west side of Las Vegas has been over there for years, but there's no there's no economic growth over there. But you just built Summerlin in 1994. Summerlin got vast economic growth, record-breaking economic growth, and only people that can access that is your new black people. You know what I'm saying? Hispanics, because you allow them to come in here. You give them jobs. You give them Hispanics, the Indians. What I mean by Indians, I mean the people from India, and the Asians. You come over here. You give them work visas. You give them unsecured loans, and that's a head start. Where black people had to struggle. Black people have been struggling over here for years to get these stuff, to get this stuff, to get these opportunities, to have these opportunities. But your laws and policies and your corrupt department, your Justice Department system, been extorting us for years, and that's why what you see now. That's why you see a vast amount of immigrants over here, because you have them contracting. The United States have been contracting overseas and immigrants to come over here and work, where the black person can't get a job. You make policies and you arrest him and give him false charges to where, he can't work anymore. That's a practice over here. This is called extortion. And the Justice Department has been doing it for years. And NAACP, all these black organizations, you're full of shit, because you stop fighting institutional racism. And now we have a new threat over here now. And they're making it known that they don't have no problem being racist. And that's Hispanic people. Stop allowing these white people to play you off on us. Or are you just naturally racist? They keep telling you to go back to Mexico and speak English. But since you got the American dream, Asians too, since y'all got the American dream handed to y'all, hey, only way you can have the American dream, if you're a non-black person, you come into this country, you have to be racist. You can't fuck with black people if you want the American dream. And that's the policy they've been pushing for the last 100 years in this country. And if you think I'm lying, if you don't believe me, just go to some of these cities where black people have been at for since day one. Most of our neighborhoods are gone and been replaced with Hispanics or Middle East people or, immigrants, refugees. No, they clog up all the systems. And, you know, black people, I'm not lying to you. This is something I'm not making up. This is something I've been seeing and looking at. And if we don't do anything about this now, we're going to be considered as non-people in this country. We already are, in the sense of the word. So, all you black millionaires and billionaires out there, I suggest you get together and start talking.